But we want to get started while Dan can come in anytime.
Okay. Okay.
Jay, you want to start?
Try not to scare you guys. Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I appreciate you guys giving me the time. I'll be
Your mic,
Can hear you.
Jay, we can't hear you. Your microphone is weak.
Well, that's not good. Let me see if I can't
That's
fix that.
better right there. That's great.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can't, I can always switch it and do the dial-in. We've had internet issues today. Interesting. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to speak. What basically I'm here representing the Barsuks. 2 years ago, the town essentially applied for a PFRAP grant. It's a rail grant for the railroad project that the Barsuks are looking to do. We just missed the cutoff. They gave 19 grants for that. We were number 21. We've had conferences with the state. We know what we need to do to correct that application. And I think we stand a pretty good chance of getting it. You're looking at a grant of somewhere in the $1.3 million range for their rail project. What the Barsuks are asking would be that the town would essentially sponsor them again as a cash-through entity. Obviously, there'd be agreements put in place if they get the grant, waiver, hold harmless, all the legal things that are necessary. And we talked about it in the past, but I think that we'd be able to move some of the administrative fees that we're able to charge through the grant and make sure that that funding goes to the town for their portion of anything that they would have to oversee. Wouldn't be much for the town to do, as we'd be doing all the administration, but obviously there'd be time spent on the town and
You're going to have to speak up.
Is it that bad? Did you catch any of it?
I caught most of it.
Okay, I'll try and speak up as well. I'm not sure what's going on. Is that a little better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay. Well, the Barsuks are looking for sponsorship again. The application's not open yet, but it's anticipated that it'll be opening soon, so that's why I'm before you now. The previous application I gave to Steve Mountain. He reviewed it, made some adjustments. I changed it on that application, and then the supervisor signed off on that application and we submitted it. So we'd be looking to do the same thing again. There'd be no cost to the town. It'd be, wouldn't affect your budget. In fact, it'd probably be a positive based on some of the admin fees you could recover. And like I said, we're looking to redo that, and with your permission, we'd like to apply for that again.
When would you expect that application being needed to be signed?
My guess would be, and it could be done electronically. That's how you signed it the last time. My guess, we don't know when it's exactly going to open. We were told November, December. Well, that's not going to happen. My guess would be the application probably will open in January, no later than probably February. It'll have about a 30-day window when it's open. We essentially have the application done, and we don't want to submit it on the last day. We have support letters from the GCEDC and some other entities, Steve Hawley. So yeah, probably we'd need signature, I would think, sometime in late January, early February.
Okay. I appreciate the heads up, Jay. Any significant change from the last application? Any significant change in the project?
There's some minor changes. Obviously, as you're well aware, costs are way up as far as labor and steel. So there's some costs that have gone up there. We still have on hand the roughly $300,000 Empire State Development Grant for the project. That's still there. And we're looking at some other funding as well. But no, the project's pretty similar. It's a switch coming off that CSX line. I can't really talk about it yet, but not only would the Barsuks be using it, but it looks like they've got a pretty exciting client on the hook. you know, that would fit within what they're doing there, and generate a few more cars per week, rail cars. So that's, it's basically the same project. Any questions by anybody?
No?
No.
All right, I appreciate the opportunity. And, you know, I'll be in touch with Steve Mountain, and, you know, with your permission, we'd like to move forward and keep it going. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Have a great evening and safe holiday.
You too, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
On to the fair housing policy. Any comments or questions? Has everyone reviewed that?
Change from last year, really, right?
I don't know. Did you check it?
Not the one I'm seeing. Nobody's met, so we haven't had, like I said, we haven't had discussions about any kind of changes. So I think it's going to stay as is.
Anyone else have any questions or anything popping up that would compel us to amend it or adjust it? I mean, it's pretty robust and pretty encompassing. So, are there any recommendations on a procurement policy? I know it's been a bit of a moot point this year with the emergencies and that, but still, anything that we can do to ensure the constituency we're getting the fairest and lowest pricing for a project that welcome. If you have any recommendations or suggestions to the existing policy, could you please send them forward to Teresa and I? Any questions or concerns on the investment policy? I'll probably just so that you're aware, I'll probably be transferring somewhere between $20,000-$25,000 into that. Hang on a second, let me get my notes. I'm in my new pickup truck office.
Oh, nice.
Just like the last time we met, only I'm 1,000 miles closer.
Bought a new pickup truck, did you?
No, unfortunately, no. There's no new pickup truck anywhere in my future.
I need one.
After the wreck I had, I could use one myself. Let me get back to my train of thought.
Investment.
The agreement we have with New York Class is still open and viable. We just never deposited any funds in there. I had a reach out from our agent who suggested to keep that open and current and to make sure that we're still in continuity if we so choose to need that service, to make a small deposit just to keep an account open and be in contact. So I'll be talking with Heidi tomorrow about that and how to proceed with that after we've paid the bills. If there's some additional cash in a money market, we can shoot over to better increase our return on our cash portfolio and keep that door open. So far, we've had unbelievably high results with our current banking and investment policy. As I mentioned at the last meeting, we're one of 3 towns to achieve that 5-star rating. So I want to just let you all know that I will be entering into a relationship with New York Class at some point in the not too distant future, probably before the end of the year. Not to any large amount, but just enough to keep our toe in the water there. Any questions on that, or?
Doing good.
Anybody have any thoughts on the organizational resolution? If you do, just please forward them to me. We'll be meeting, I'll be meeting this week through Zoom with Tom Lichtenthal and Andrew Meyer on a couple of drainage issues. We need to get an immediate resolution on a couple small actions. Very little financial significance, but still important enough to get done as soon as possible. And Steve Mountain and I are going to meet with the department head in the water sewer, trying to lay out. It's been several weeks since we've had a huddle up. We had a good staff meeting with the department heads this morning and ironed out about 90 minutes worth of stuff to move forward. So any questions or any concerns, anything going on in the board world that you could think of, let me know.
I did watch or zoom in on the county planning board meeting the other night.
With the solar?
Well, we had a bunch of projects from the town of Batavia on there and a couple. I was curious in Pembroke too, but there seemed to be a lot of, and I give them credit, they did that. A lot of people talk and concerns about stuff. And I guess the biggest concern with the people over on Ellicott with Don Partridge's project is, you know, they think 20 acres is the limit in the town of Batavia, and he's got basically have two projects next to each other making 40 acres. So
Right, I read that.
there's quite a bit of concern. Same people, I think, were pretty much logged into the town of Batavia planning board meeting a couple weeks before when it was on the agenda too. So I take it they're probably going to have that public hearing on Zoom. Way it sounded, I think last night they called it for January 19th.
Right.
But there is quite a bit of pushback on the Ellicott Street people over there. And it's a legit question because, you know, our zoning in the town is 20 acres on a parcel, and he's got two separate parcels, and it's basically going to be a 40-acre solar farm. But
yeah, I understand that. And I see how it can look that way, but I mean, if it was two different owners next to each other, the same thing could happen. So it's two different parcels. And I'm sure that was expressed, but I can understand why people would get that impression.
Well, the fact that it's already happened on Pearl Street was enough to trigger a conversation about revisiting the entire solar law by the town board. It's something that should happen sooner rather than later. It may have been addressed this year if we hadn't been submerged by COVID.
Right.
And that has really ground a lot of what we had proposed to do to a halt. We've taken up accounting. We're spending a lot more time accounting now, trying to find means to get reimbursement from FEMA. And I'm here to tell you that that's not going as well as it could. Initial conversations from our engineering department today indicate that there is apparently an overwhelming amount of applications for FEMA reimbursement to the organization, and they may or may not be staffed or funded enough to address it, as well as everyone had hoped when we were promised 100% assistance in May. So, Steve, I don't know if you want to jump in and comment on that quickly, just to let the board know so that I don't.
Yeah, sure. And apologize, I couldn't get unmuted on the phone. I'm on my computer and on the office phone, and my cell phone was his battery died. But so the FEMA application, what we're doing is splitting it into two separate projects. We've been having weekly calls with a bunch of representatives from FEMA. So the initial application, and we're still playing with numbers, maybe $30,000, $40,000, will get submitted, and it'll be things that they are relatively, they can never give us a positive answer one way or the other, but are reasonably sure that we'll be able to get funded for. the other stuff, we'll do in a second application, just so that we don't bog down money that we know that we can get. So that's essentially what we're doing now. And the first application should be ready to be submitted next week. Does anybody have any questions on it, or? I do want to just kind of back up to the to Jay Grasso's. I did just text him, and I apologize. I was trying to chime in, but I couldn't get in. I'm going to push him to get a copy of the grant agreement, that if they were successful in that grant application, and also if they would put together kind of the framework that we would have to have with the Barsuks in order to be the pass-through for this DOT money. And to me, you know, the last time in 2018, it was a real rush. You know, it's a good benefit to the town, but nonetheless, we want to make sure that, you know, as much forethought into what those agreements would look like, we know ahead of time before we submit that application. So that's all I just wanted the board know.
Yeah, Steve, that was my purpose in asking. I would, my next comment was going to reach out to you. We need to expedite that so that we have plenty of time to prepare a response. I'm sorry, I got 3 phones now.
Yeah.
Not only prepare a response, but ensure that we have adequate time to form a resolution and you know, an authorization from the board to allow me to sign into that thing. And we need more time than we had last time. So you're right. You're already ahead of me on that. So yeah, yep. Let's make sure that happens, and make sure Jay's aware that without that upfront information as soon as possible, it's going to cause an issue.
Yeah, and he did just text me back and did confirm that he agrees, and you know, he did confirm that we rushed it last time because everyone was up against that deadline. So yeah, we'll I'll keep on him to get that information.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else?
I'm thinking about submitting Ellicott Trail for the Genesee County Chamber Award. I can't remember if I mentioned it to you guys. Any objections to do that for special recognition of the year?
No, I have no.
Sorry. What else does it entail, Chad? Is there
It's
recognition?
Just, what's that?
Is it just a recognition, or is there a prize or something?
No, it's just recognition. It's usually done at the chamber dinner. It's supposed to be in February. It's usually at the Palm Island, Clarion, I guess it is. But who knows if it's going to be virtual or live. But it's good recognition. We get a nice plaque. You know, we can all go to dinner and celebrate if they have it. I think we would be the applicants because we're chamber members and we were lead agency. Of course, we'd invite all of our partners as well. Nice press, nice feel-good thing for those that put some extra time in.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah, it's a 1 or 2 page application. I've done them in the past, trying to, you know, recognize projects or people or businesses. So I'll just put that together and get it on as long as everybody's fine with it.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah, I think I don't know what else really happened in 2020. It's all kind of been a blur. I don't remember it all, but you know, it seems like that was certainly one of the highlights of the year. So
yeah, I think maybe
probably the only one.
Well,
oh my God.
I wasn't going to say the other one. It's the only one I can remember. I'm sure we missed a couple other things.
All right.
If there isn't anything else on that, then I guess we can adjourn the work session and come back for the town board meeting at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I just one more, before we leave though, Trust, I'm really clear on this. We have to do, for the public hearing, we have to do twice, we have to log in. No, I can't hear you, sorry. You have to unmute,
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
sorry.
The regular town board meeting
Right.
and public hearing, it's just the one link.
Okay, so it's the last one you just sent, like you and I were talking about, you sent that extra one, it's just that one.
Right, because initially I just changed it and we'll have the work session and the regular town board meeting at the same time, but.
Right. Okay,
No, that doesn't work because we need a separate link for that.
right, so it's the last one you sent.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure, I don't want to get lost. I'm so afraid, you know?
Log in 15 minutes early.
That's what I do.
That's what we're at, exactly. But
All right,
someone's got
see
to let us in so we can say, yeah, you're here, you know, that's all I'm saying.
See you at 7 then.
Sounds good, everybody.
Okay,
Okay.
See ya.
Thank you all.
bye.
Yeah.
See you
Bye.
shortly.
Okay.